Hey folks, today on the Soap Thing Project I am going to give you my thoughts on Mercedes-Benz Club Black. This fingerprint magnet is actually quite an interesting amber and vanilla fragrance, and we're going to talk about it coming up next. Alright, let's start the video with the presentation. Here is the box right here, Mercedes-Benz Club Black. This box is just a glossy black box with silvery writing on it, Mercedes-Benz Club Black on the front of the box, eau de toilette concentration for men, 100 ml. On the top of the box you have the Mercedes-Benz logo. On the right side of the box there's nothing at all. On the left side we do have a holographic authenticator sticker, so that's pretty cool. On the bottom we have the ingredients, and right here in very dark writing, you might be able to see it, you might not, but there is your batch code. So if you're having a hard time finding your batch code, it's usually on the bottom in very dark writing and it is hard to see. And here's the fragrance right here. This thing is a raging fingerprint magnet. Oh my god, it's bad. So this appears to be an amber colored bottle that is shrouded on most sides with a kind of, I'd say, fairly robust black plastic. And on the back we do have, it is engraved in the back of the fragrance, Mercedes-Benz Club Black. And on the bottom it just says eau de toilette concentration, made in France. Let's go ahead and take a look at the atomizer. I'll go ahead and waste a couple sprays for you. The atomizer is honestly the biggest disappointment of this whole presentation. The sprayer is frankly disappointing. It's really anemic. So if you buy this fragrance, do be prepared to spray it a lot. Let's just put it that way. Alright, let's go over the notes for Mercedes-Benz Club Black. I'm going to use Fragrantica this time. According to Fragrantica, this is an amber fragrance. In the opening we have just bergamot. In the mid we have incense and jasmine. And in the dry down we have vanilla, benzoin, woodsy notes, and ambroxan. I'm going to spray this thing one more time just for inspiration purposes. Okay, so what does this actually smell like? Let's talk about the life of the fragrance. So this has the fastest opening I have ever seen. The bergamot in the opening is gone in less than 60 seconds, which is faster than Nicolas Cage. That's perfectly fine with me though, because the next phase of the fragrance, as you get into the mid and into the dry down, you get this really compelling and pleasing and interesting mashup of incense, vanilla, benzoin, and ambroxan. It's really rich, sweet, slightly resinous, slightly smoky. There is definitely a potency to the incense that's in this, just a little bit. Enough to push through all the other really sweet notes, because what I'm noticing is that it's almost like a dirty vanilla. It's got this incensey, slightly smoky, resinous richness and sweetness to it. It's remarkably linear, if we're being honest. The mid and the dry down kind of really blur together. So it's not quite as much of an evolution as a lot of other fragrances. It really is quite a linear experience. That bergamot is gone in a flash. We got that drive-by bergamot that is in and out in a crazy fast hurry. And then right away you get this incense vanilla benzoin thing. It's actually quite nice. It really is. As far as scent quality, it's not remarkable. It's a car fragrance. So we'll go over the price here in a minute, but I will say you should not be paying full price for this because I don't think the quality necessarily is there. If you can get this at a discount at Fragrance Net, Fragrance X, and you can pay a small enough price for it, I think you're getting a really good bargain because it really is an interesting vanilla fragrance that it just has a fundamentally basic but very pleasing aroma to it. It's quite a simple fragrance. There's not a lot of notes in here, but it's good. It's really good. All right, here's the part you've all been waiting for, the horsepower figures. Horsepower on this is decent. As long as it's a Mercedes-Benz, I will go ahead and put it in the 560 SEC category of fragrances. It's definitely a nice ride, without a doubt. But I've had better. So as with any other fragrance, I did wear this for 3 straight days. And in my 3 days of testing for longevity, I got 2 8-hour days out of this and a 7. 2 8s and a 7, which is good, but not great. Projection is kinda weak, especially for a fragrance that's supposed to be so rich and sweet. Normally those fragrances are pretty powerful, and those are good winter powerhouse fragrances. This one I got under arm's length for even the best point of the fragrance. It was somewhere slightly beyond elbow's length for a scent bubble. So I would say you would wear this in kind of the same circumstances as Dolce & Gabbana The One Eau de Parfum. This is definitely a fragrance for whoever you want to smell this on you is going to need to be kind of up in your business. Otherwise, it's going to go, frankly, unnoticed. So I think you would wear this on a date. It's good for a date night. You might even be able to pull this off at work in a suit, provided, again, it's during the winter time. You're definitely not going to want to wear this in the summer because it's going to be way too cloyingly sweet, and people are going to steer clear of you if you're wearing this in the hot balls of summer. It's going to be too much for people. So don't do that. I would say you're not going to want to go clubbing in this because you'll be practically invisible. So don't bother wearing this for that. I would honestly relegate this to date night, at home with significant others, at work, maybe. Some people could pull this off at work, otherwise it still might be too sweet. It's a really sweet fragrance. So I would say this is definitely a daytime or nighttime during the winter outside sort of fragrance is how I would relegate this. Who could wear this? This is supposed to be a man's fragrance, but I would say this is relatively unisex. I think certain women could pull this off if they so chose to do. But I think for the most part, it's a little too dark of a fragrance. So I think this does lean towards the masculine side of fragrances, but it's not so dark that there's just no way a woman could pull this off. I think a woman could pull this off okay in some circumstances. They could definitely rock this. Just a question of how you do it. So Mercedes-Benz Club Black is a 2017 release. I forgot to mention that earlier. My bottle, according to the batch code, was made in 2022. That's exactly when I bought it, was 2022. So, with that in mind, I paid about $52 for this. I think if you can get this between $50 and $65 US dollars, you are paying a good price for this. Anything higher than that, you might want to consider looking for a discount code or maybe finding something else. And definitely do not pay $90, $100, $120, $140 for this thing. If you pay that much for this, you're stupid. It's not worth that kind of price. The quality just is not there. So definitely try to get this at a discount if at all possible. If you can get it at a good price, at a decent price, well under $100, we're talking 50s and 60s, I think this is a great buy. Great for date night, great for just lounging around the house, a great lounge scent. I should have said that earlier, but it's definitely good for that. Yeah, great for lounging by the fire is another way you could use this scent. So that's my thoughts on Mercedes-Benz Club Black. It's a decent scent, but do be careful what you pay for it. That's it. That's the video for today. Questions, comments, put them in the comment section of the video. Otherwise, until next time, this is Soap Thing telling you, I guess spray like you mean it. Yeah, definitely do that. I'll catch you later.